Welcome to the Game and Party channel. I'm Erica, and today we're going to learn how to play Second Chance, designed by Uwe Rosenberg and published by Stronghold Games. Second Chance plays 1 to 6 players in about 15 minutes. Let's check it out. The game components include a pad of paper that's grid paper that players are going to be drawing on during the game, a nifty set of colored pencils, and 3 different types of cards. The first type of card is a player aid that shows all of the different shapes that will be in the deck. The second type of card is actually the different shapes, and you can see they increase in size number throughout the deck. And then the third type of card are the starting player cards, where each player is going to start with a different shape. During the game, you're going to be drawing on this gridded piece of paper different shapes based on what cards are coming out. And the goal of the game is to be the player that has the least amount of empty spaces left on their grid when the end of the game is triggered. To set up the game, each player is going to get a sheet of grid paper to draw on, one of the colored pencils, and then we're going to shuffle up the starting cards and randomly deal 1 to each player. Now that we're shuffled, I'll deal 1 to me. So this is my starting shape, and what I'm required to do is to draw this shape on my grid paper under the restriction that at least one of these blocks needs to include this dot here. So for example, I could draw this shape like this. So I drew my starting shape. We're going to take the deck of the different puzzle tiles and shuffle them together to make a draw deck. The game is played over a series of rounds, and each round, 2 cards are going to be flipped face up from the draw deck. Each player will choose what shape that they want to draw onto their corresponding grid paper. The shapes can be rotated and mirrored on the player's grid paper as needed. I can also draw them adjacent to existing shapes or start a new shape as well. The only things you can't do are you can't draw shapes on top of other shapes, and you have to fit the entire shape within your grid paper, so you can't leave a piece hanging off. The cheat sheet cards will allow players to gain an understanding of how many of each type of card are going to be in the draw deck. So for example, I could draw this shape onto my grid paper, and that would be a valid placement. Once each player has selected and drawn a shape, 2 new shapes are flipped out, and the rounds continue. At some point during the game, your grid is going to get very, very full, and you're going to begin running out of space. And what will happen is you'll flip out cards and be in a situation where neither of the shapes will fit within your grid sheet. This is where the game gets its name, Second Chance. This could happen to one player or multiple players in a given round, and what will happen is that player will call for their second chance. When the second chance occurs, a card will flip out, and if the player is able to fit that shape into their grid paper, which in this case I could fit that shape in multiple places, then I continue during the game. If during my second chance I flip out a shape and wah, unfortunately it doesn't fit, then I'm out of the game. In the case where my second chance failed, if I'm the first player to go out of the game, I get to select a square on my grid paper and draw a 1 in it, and that serves 2 purposes. It counts as a filled-in square for endgame scoring, but it also serves as the tiebreaker for the end of the game. Multiple players can be in a second chance situation on the same round, and in that case, the players will get different cards for their second chances. If you are out of the game, then you're out and the other players continue. The game can end in 3 different ways. Either all players drop out from their second chance opportunities, the draw deck runs out, or a player manages to fill their entire grid. The winner at the end of the game is going to be whoever has the least amount of empty squares, so you count those up. In my case, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In the case of a tie, the player who went out first, who has the 1, would be the winner. If the game ended because 2 players filled up their entire grid, then they tie and they both win. And that's how you play Second Chance. It's a lot of fun. I recommend checking it out.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, check out our podcast, and you can find us on all of our social media sites on gameandparty.com. See you on the next video.